Hi, I'm George Alger, the founder of Nonprofit Fire, and today we're going to talk about successful use of Google Ad Grants using the right story. Successful use of Google Ad Grants breaks down into two main areas. Number one, the mechanics, which is the nuts and bolts of Google Ad Grants, and number two, creative strategies, and this includes story development, which is the main topic of today's message. Now, by the way, mechanics can be learned. In fact, the mechanics of Google Ad Grants will need to be learned to take advantage of these ongoing grants, in the same way a person would need to learn to drive a car to use it for transportation. Having said that, it's the creative strategies that will generate results. This boils down to what will be advertised. This is a huge topic, and it all begins with your unique nonprofit story. As a sidebar, this is one of the reasons ad agencies exist. Companies pay advertising specialists to create a bigger impact with their ad budget than they can on their own. Coming back to Google Ad Grants, the creative strategies and story will vary with each nonprofit, but one place to start would be to understand what does not work. What doesn't work is simply placing ads on the internet that state something along the lines of how good a nonprofit you are and asking for money. By the way, this is what many nonprofits actually do with Google Ad Grants, and they are the same ones to say that Google Ad Grants doesn't work. It's like a generous benefactor providing a car and gas to use at will, and then having the recipient eventually say the car doesn't work because the person didn't know a key was required to start the engine and some skill was necessary to operate the vehicle. Creative strategy and especially story comprise the most important factors with Google Ad Grants and deserve a little elaboration. We all intuitively understand the basic concept of story, but for this system, we mean a unique and compelling marketing story that works with Google Ad Grants. One that will help us rally a massive community of online supporters. Often, this story focuses on only one small aspect of what your nonprofit contributes to the world, even though you may be doing many different and valuable things. By the way, the story can create more impact for your nonprofit if it could be meaningful and engaging to people around the world, or at least around the country. Although this type of broad-based story is easier to establish with nonprofits that have a national or global mission, this does not exclude nonprofits who serve a local community. We at Nonprofit Fire have established national and international stories for local nonprofits, and it's a common topic we discuss with new clients. Okay, let's get down to the primary components that are factored together to develop a story for your nonprofit that will be advertised on a big scale. Our purpose is to generate a huge community related to the story. The community can then become a source of volunteers, fundraising, etc. So here's where I introduce the Google Ad Grant story triangle that I developed for this. It's comprised of 3 points, as you might imagine. The first one is the topic, and the topic needs to be simple and engaging. And what we mean by engaging is to attract the attention of and involve individuals interested in the topic. The second point of the triangle is a free giveaway, and this is something that would be desirable by the intended community, and it is typically a digital download, at least for nonprofits. And the third part would be effective keywords. People need to be searching with these keywords in sufficient volume, and they need to be low cost. It bears emphasizing that Google is paying for these keywords via the budget they provide nonprofits with Google Ad Grants, but they only pay for lower cost keywords. These 3 points of the Google Ad Grant story triangle all revolve around your nonprofit mission. Furthermore, this type of story development, including all its components and especially the keywords, need to work with Google Ad Grants and must work together. If they don't work together, the story and advertising will not be successful. So, this type of Google Ad Grant story triangle cannot be properly compared to other types of story development. Furthermore, sometimes the first story and strategy launched yield clues to an even better story as informed by the substantial amount of data Google provides as part of using their Google Ad Grants, although it can take some experience to really take advantage of the data. As stated earlier in this message, story development is a huge topic, but I hope this opens up the subject since this is so fundamental to successfully using Google Ad Grants. Use the Google Ad Grant Story Triangle to achieve success with your advertising. For more information, visit nonprofitfire.org and click Contact.